Hello everybody, Kuro Wilson here, and today I will be doing What if Deku was reborn as a slime, part 35. So, in the last part, Deku just basically taught everyone in Class 1A, plus Aizawa and All Might, about magic and how to use them having to train on how to use magic. As when they were training, Deku would have felt something in the city. Him going there and finding Kenny, who was the descendant of either James or Harry. Him also finding out that the hooded figure who attacked Kenny was actually Benimaru. Now, continuing the story, the Deku clone who unmasked the hooded man, revealing that it is Benimaru, he would have asked the real Deku what they should do. But before the real Deku can reply, that was when another hooded figure would have appeared. With the hooded figure taking the clone Deku by surprise, it would have actually blinded Deku by using some sort of mist and basically took Benimaru away. And if you're wondering how the clone Deku was caught off guard, it's because the clone Deku was focusing on communicating with the real Deku and also looking at Benimaru. So he kind of didn't look behind him. Now, after that happened, the clone Deku would have reported back to the real Deku that he accidentally let the enemy slip by and take back Benimaru. Him asking the real Deku if he should chase after them. The real Deku just sighing and telling the clone Deku to return to him. The clone Deku doing so by using Shadow Step. As back over with the real Deku and Kenny, they would have arrived right in front of Veldora's house. And after greeting the guard, both Deku and Kenny would have went to Veldora's room. Them walking in to see that Veldora is doing a lot of paperwork again. Veldora, while still focusing on his paperwork, he would have said, "If you have something to say, then just say it. I don't have much time, you know." Deku saying, "Yeah, of course you don't have much time." Veldora recognizing this voice, he would have looked up from his paperwork and, well, see Deku. Him, of course, being surprised to see Deku there. Him getting up from his seat and walking towards Deku, asking Deku how he has been. Deku saying, "Oh, me? No, I'm fine. How about you? You seem to be preoccupied." Deku looking at the piles and piles of paperwork. "Oh, no, that's just because I took a holiday yesterday, and I just got back from my day off, so yeah, I got a bit of things to do." "So, what brings you back here, Rimuru?" "Ah, yeah, about that." Deku just telling Veldora what happened in the last part. Veldora, after hearing what happened, he would immediately order some of his guards to go around town putting up missing person posters. After he did that, he would have taken both Deku and Kenny to a place in the city where children or kids at a young age can play until their parents return. Which, by the way, has a place to sleep, a place to eat, and people to look after them. Deku, after looking around this place, he would have said, "Isn't this just an orphanage?" Veldora, who's right next to Deku, he would have been a bit confused and asked, "What's an orphanage?" Never mind. Veldora saying, okay, I'll need to go back to my room now because I got more things to do. Deku following Veldora, they would have returned to Veldora's, well, room, with Deku helping Veldora by creating some clones and telling them to do the paperwork. As before the clones did the paperwork, they would have used thought communication on Veldora and see how he does things. And also learn more about this town, or of his town, because, Deku hasn't been here in a long time. And while Deku's clones are helping Veldora with his paperwork, Deku would have asked Veldora where Benimaru is, to which Veldora would just have a sorrow face. Deku being confused as Veldora would have told Deku to follow him. Him bring Deku into a room inside his room. And when Deku got into the room, he would have saw a giant map, with some cities having to be on the map. However, some of the cities inside the map has a cross on it. Deku, wanting to get some answers for those crossed out towns, or well, cities, he would have asked Veldora what happened. To which Veldora would just say that the demons have returned. Deku being confused, he would have asked, wait, demons? Weren't they defeated from the Holy War? Yes, they were. Many of them were killed. But it would seem like some of the demons were purposefully sealed away, so that even if they lost the final battle, they won't lose the war. They will just extend the war in another period. And it looks like that period is now. Veldora pointing at the crossed out cities and saying, these crossed out cities are the ones they attacked. And if my calculations are not wrong, then I believe their next attack is going to be on our town. Deku thinking, seriously, what is every single time when I come back here, there is some kind of crisis? Deku asking, well, do you know their numbers? Their numbers are in the 500s or so. How about their tactics? That's unknown to us. But some of the survivors of the previous towns said that the demons attacked when they were fighting against each other. Deku being a bit confused as to what Veldora meant, he would have asked Veldora to explain it a bit more. To which Veldora would just say that there are rumors that those towns were fighting against themselves when the demons attacked. Deku saying, okay, how about our numbers? Veldora saying, in total, we have about 1,500 soldiers. And how many of them are true dragons? If it includes half-breeds, then it is 50. Deku whispering, no, if we fight them head-on, then best case scenario, at least half of the army will be gone. But worst case scenario, everyone in the town will be dead. No, we can't fight them head-on. We need a better plan and strategy. Wait a second. This doesn't answer my question, Veldora. Where is Benimaru? Veldora just sighing and telling Deku that both Benimaru and Soe has sadly passed away. Deku being confused, he would have said, What? Yes, they passed away. We even buried them. Deku, having some suspicion, he would have asked Veldora when they die, to which Veldora would just say that they died about 8 months ago. Deku asking how they die. Veldora saying that they don't know because they just found their bodies on the ground in the forest. Deku saying, wait, in the forest? Why are they in the forest? That's because they were on a mission. I thought that since both of them are strong warriors, they would be able to handle themselves out in the forest. Which they were. They returned the day after. However, they said that if they return to the forest, they will be able to find something about the demons. And of course, since we need information about the demons, I sent them back to the forest. But it was then after 3 whole weeks we didn't see them coming back. I sent some scouts into the forest hoping to find them alive, but we were too late. Their body was already on the ground, lifeless, without a trace of anything being harmed. Deku, finding this even more suspicious, he would have asked Veldora where their graves are, with Veldora taking Deku to the place of their graves. Deku, seeing their tombstone, he would have asked Veldora how they buried them. Veldora just saying that they put their body in a coffin and just buried them in the ground, asking why Deku asked. Deku saying, sorry for not paying respects. Veldora being confused, as Deku would have manipulated the air to basically lift up the ground that is in front of the tombstone. Veldora asking Deku what he's doing, to which Deku would just say that he is checking something. Him bringing up their coffins and opening them, him finding them being empty. This, of course, shocking Veldora, since he saw them being put in the coffin firsthand. Deku saying, I knew it. Him immediately destroying both of those coffins, as after he basically replanted the ground, he would have asked Veldora about one thing, with that one thing being if Veldora keeps tracks of different incidents, or well, accidents. Veldora saying yes, as they would have returned to Veldora's room. Veldora taking out a file and telling Deku that this file contains every single incident and accident that happened in this town. Deku finding out that crime has risen in the past few months, and those crimes are similar to what happened to Kenny, he would have just said, damn it. Veldora being confused, asking what Deku meant by damn it. Deku saying, the demons have already invaded. Veldora being confused, him saying, what? As Deku would have told Veldora what he found out, basically telling Veldora that those incidents are not accidents, and that they were created by a hooded figure, with that hooded figure being Benimaru. Veldora, after hearing this, he would of course be confused, since Benimaru would never attack the civilians. Deku saying, yes, I know, which is why I think that the demons have already invaded, because they might have the ability to mind control. What? Yes, You said that the demons attacked the other cities when they were already fighting against themselves, right? Yes. And if that's the case, then that's what they're trying to do right now. They are trying to cause some chaos and make the people go against us, causing our defenses to be lowered and letting them attack the city fairly easily. But how did they mind control Benimaru? I think that they already mind controlled Benimaru the first time he went into the forest, and the second time they went into the forest, the one that controlled Benimaru and maybe Soe reported back to their superiors and telling them what they know about this town and its weakness. After that, I think they might have planned it to fake Benimaru and Soe's death so that they can use them in the dark. But why would they use them when they can just use their own bodies? That I don't know. But what I do know is that we need more information. More information on what? On why Benimaru and maybe Soe was selected to be their mind-controlled bodies. Deku asking Veldora if Benimaru and maybe Soe have any family members. To which Veldora would just tell Deku that Benimaru has a wife and has a child. Deku being a bit surprised, but expected. Now, Veldora would have brought Deku to Benimaru's home. With Veldora knocking on the door, Benimaru's wife would have opened it and asked who is it. Her seeing that it is Veldora, she would have immediately let him in and also let Deku in, since even though he doesn't know who Deku is, he does know that it is a friend of Veldora. Veldora informing Benimaru's wife that Benimaru might be alive and that he might be mind-controlled. Benimaru's wife would have been confused, her asking Veldora where he got that idea, or well, got that information. Veldora just saying that he got it from a friend. Him pointing at Deku and introducing Deku as Rimuru Tempest. Benimaru's wife immediately bowing down, or well, just going on her knees and asking for forgiveness for not being able to recognize who Deku is. Deku immediately telling her to relax, she would have done so. Him, after telling her to relax, he would have told Benimaru's wife what he found out, as Deku would have asked Benimaru's wife if he and Veldora can see Benimaru's room, to which Benimaru's wife would just bring both Deku and Veldora to Benimaru's room, her saying that she never even touched this room or even cleaned it after Benimaru quote-unquote died. Deku and Veldora walking into the room, they would have saw nothing out of the ordinary. The only thing that is a bit weird is the sword on the wall, with Deku having to sense a faint amount of magic energy coming from that sword. He would have walked over and take the sword from the wall. Him taking the sword from the scabbard and examining it. Him also asking Benimaru's wife if she knows anything about this sword. To which Benimaru's wife would have just told Deku that this sword is Benimaru's first ever sword that he brought into this town, or this city. Her also saying that Benimaru treasures this sword very much. And as Deku was examining this sword, he would have noticed something on the stand that is in the wall. Basically, the thing that is holding up the sword on the wall. Him walking closer and seeing a hinge. Deku being able to lift the stand up, he would have found a hole in the wall. Deku seeing that the hole in the wall resembles a sword shape, or well, the hole that was left behind when you jam a sword into a wall or just anything and pull it out. Deku, noticing that, he would have just used the sword and jam it into the hole. It being a perfect fit, but nothing happened. Deku, remembering that Benimaru also has a bit of hellfire, he would have tried to transfer hellfire throughout the sword. And whenever he did, a loud click would have been heard. Right after that, the wall that the sword was inside would have moved back a bit, with Deku being able to fairly easily push back the wall, revealing a secret passageway. As that will be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. They'll be amazing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!